Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajasa Sunantu Saggamukadang Dhamma Savana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Dhamma Savana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Dhamma Savana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta. Dear listeners, first of all, as your request, I'll teach you how is the way we want to listen to Dhamma. In early times, that people listen to Dhamma by the Vajrasana. Vajrasana mean like the kneeling down position and sit down on your legs and close their eyes and hands get together and make it in the chest. Put your hands in the chest by in the posture of greeting. Hands get together and put on your chest, and while closing your eyes. This is the past and ancient way of listening to Dhamma. So if someone they can listen to Dhamma in this way, in this manner. It will help you to attain a more understanding and stay with good mindfulness, and it will help you to increase your wisdom while listening to the sermon. So if someone likes, they can listen to Dhamma in this way. Okay, now we can start the sermon. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Anapanasati bhikkhave bhavita bahuli kata mahapala hoti mahanisansa. Anapanasati bhikkhave bhavita bahuli kata chattaro satipatthane paripureti. Chattaro satipatthana bhavita bahuli kata satta bojjhange paripurenti. Satta bojjhanga bhavita bahuli kata vijja vimuttin paripurenti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear listeners, subject to the discourse today, the Anapanasati Sutta, the mindfulness in breathe in and breathe out. So listen carefully and pay close attention and do your practice according to the preaching. So dear ones, today we are going to talk about the mindfulness in breathe in and breathe out. This mindfulness in we can find before the Lord Buddha also as a meditation of Indian sages, saints who practiced meditations in forests like Himalaya. Nowadays we call those practices as pranayama, But more than that practices, they has the ability to develop the mindfulness up to higher concentration levels like jhana, towards to neva sanyana sanyayatana, the boundless the boundless uh, boundless concentration of neither perception nor non-perception. That's we called neva sanyana sanyayatana concentration. So dear ones, once we talk about the Anapanasati, Ana mean breathe in, Pana mean breathe out, Sati mean mindfulness. Then mindfulness in, breathe in and breathe out. We can find so many types of Anapanasati meditations in the world. Some systems in Hinduism, but we can find some methods in Buddhism also, in Buddhist culture, in Buddhist teachings. So one type of Anapanasati we can find in Anapanasati Sutta, that is the greatest one. And another only 4 steps we can find in Satipatthana Sutta. And some people, and in the commentary, it says the Anapanasati, the mindfulness in breathe in and breathe out, little different way rather than the Sutta. And we can use this mindfulness in breathe in and breathe out as a concentration object. We can practice the arising and cessation of 5 clicking aggregates by getting this breathe in and breathe out as the object. And we can practice the arising and cessation of the 6 sense bases through contemplating on as by getting the object of breathe in and breathe out. So those type of several ways we can use to practice this Anapanasati. Before talk about the Anapanasati, I'm glad to explain about jhanas. I reckon my all listeners now are meditators, and now you may achieve some achievements. So you can ask from yourself, are you satisfied with these qualities in your practice? In Samanya Phala Sutta, in Digha Nikaya, the fruits of a ordinated person, the fruits of a monkhood, that is the meaning of that sutta, Samanya Phala. In this sutta, it says, it has explained about the experiences about the jhanas. If someone attain the first jhana, this is like this. In ancient world, they used to take some powders as a soap. Like they get some powder, then they mix it some water, and they make some paste by this. Once they are, as an easy example, I can give. You make rotis to eat roti. So once you make rotis, you have to get flour and you mix water little by little, and you mix the whole mixture. Once you mix this all, each and every part of this flour are spreaded the water. Each and every part is now wet. All of flour is now wet. Then we can make a ball from this flour. In this way, once someone attains the first jhana, he can feel a joy in the mind, a rapture in the mind, like the whole body with the joyfulness, with the rapture. All body with the rapture, like wet flower bowl with the water. So that is the experience of first jhana. Now you can compare yourselves. And the second jhana, the Samanya-pada Sutta explains, that experience is like there is a pond. For this pond, there is no rain. There is no any stream come from the north side. There is no stream come from the south side or east or west side. There is just only some water come from underground. Only one place, only from one place. From this one place, those underground water, from this underground water, the whole pond become fulfilled. In this way, in the second jhana, they feel full of joy, full of pleasure, full of joy, full of rapture. That is the experience of the second jhana. And again, Lord Buddha has mentioned in that Samanya-pada Sutta about the third jhana. Once who attain the third jhana, its experience like some lotus, what is in the underground, what is not arise from the water to the air, that all lotus covered with the cold water under the pond. In this manner, once who attain the third jhana, his whole body become more pleasure, so pleasant, more pleasure to his whole body and the whole mind. That's the experience of third jhana. And there is experience of what is the fourth jhana experience that Buddha has mentioned. Once who attain the fourth jhana, it's like someone get a illuminating white clothes and covered you with that illuminating white clothes. Then your all body covered with the cloth. In this way, your whole body and mind got tranquilized, and equanimity you feels, and that is the experience of fourth jhana. In the fourth jhana, there is some natures in fourth jhana. It explains in suttas and explained in Vinaya Pitaka also. That is, someone attend the fourth jhana, his breath in and breath out stopped, and his heartbeat stopped, and he can't hear sounds anymore. His all sounds cut off once he attained the fourth jhana. That is the experience of experiences of jhana. So those are explaining in Sutta Pitaka and Vinaya Pitaka also about these 4 jhana achievements. Once who attain the 4th jhana, his breathe in and breathe out stop. His he can't hear sounds anymore, and his heartbeat also stop. So that is the experience of 4th jhana. Now we can talk about. We can go to Mahasatipatthana Sutta explanation about Anapanasati. It explains 4 parts, and after that it converts into insight meditation to vipassana. And once we talk about the Anapanasati Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, the middle length discourses, it teaches us the 16 steps of Anapanasati. Now our topic is that. This is just an entrance. So now we can go to our topic. Lord Buddha has explained, because when mindfulness of breathing is developed and cultivated, it is of great fruit and great benefit. When mindfulness of breathing is developed and cultivated, it fulfills the 4 foundations of mindfulness. That means Satara Satipatthana, Jatharo Satipatthana. When the 4 foundations of mindfulness are developed and cultivated, they fulfill the 7 enlightenment factors. That means Sattabojjhanga. When the 7 enlightenment factors are developed and cultivated, they fulfill true knowledge and deliverance. That means Vijja and Vimukti. That is very nice point. In this Anapanasati Sutta explains, and especially Lord Buddha has mentioned in the last sentence paragraph, this Anapanasati Sutta meditation is not for the people who has no good mindfulness or the people who has no wisdom. This sutta for some good mindfulness and good wisdom, wise people. And especially we can see in this sutta, it says, Lord Buddha explains, this one meditation is enough to attain the Nibbana. I could find only 2 meditations in Sutta Pitaka like this manner. What can only use a one meditation up to Nibbana. That is this 16 steps of Anapanasati in Anapanasati Sutta, and this 6 sense basis meditation in Mahasalayatanika Sutta. It's also in Majjhima Nikaya, long middle length discourses. So dear ones, there is a very nice thing Lord Buddha is explaining. There is one Dhamma, one thing, what fulfills Satipatthana. No, one thing, what fulfill 4 things. There is 4 things, what fulfill 7 things. And there is some 7 things, what fulfill 2 things. What are those? What is the one thing? First thing is Anapanasati. It fulfills Satipatthana. From Satipatthana, it fulfills Sattabojjhanga. From Sattabojjhanga, it fulfills the Vijja and Vimukti. That means mindfulness and breathe in and breathe out. It fulfills what? The 4 foundations of mindfulness. From 4 foundations of mindfulness, it fulfills the 7 enlightenment factors. From the 7 enlightenment factors, it fulfills the true knowledge and deliverance. Now we are going to explain what is this, how to do this meditation, and how is the explanation of Lord Buddha. And Lord Buddha is explaining and how, because monks in mindfulness of breathing developed and cultivated, so that is of great fruit and great benefit. That means, how can we do this Anapanasati? How can we practice the mindfulness and breathe in and breathe out? The way of great benefits, a way of great fruits. Because that's why I said there is so many ways to practice the Anapanasati. So many ways in the society. So Lord Buddha is explaining the most greatest way to practice the Anapanasati. Then, here a bhikkhu gone to a forest or to the root of a tree or an empty hut, sits down, having folded his legs crosswise, set his body erect, and established the mindfulness in front of him. Ever mindful, he breathes in, mindful, he breathes out. In Lord Buddha's meditations, there is a nice thing, that is, this whole meditations for calm, always we have to do this meditation in calm mind. We don't need a force. Because in Indian sages' times, they need to go to very big jungles, very big forests to attain the jhana. But Buddhist monks attend the jhana in monasteries while talking with the lay people also. Why? We have a nice weapon called vipassana. We have a nice weapon called insight. Because of that insight power, we can practice the meditation while in the society. But normally, if someone has not the weapon of insight, they need to go vacate from the society to the huge forest. So, however, now someone goes to an empty place, then he crosses his legs and keep his backbone very erectly, body erect, and he contemplate on his front. He put his mindfulness in front of him, and he just very calmly, he just breathe in very mindfully, breathe out very mindfully. Always think very simply, mindful and breathe out. So breathing in long, he understands I breathing in long, or breathing in out, he understands I breathe out long. Now what we are doing, we just contemplating on breathe in and breathe out. Once we contemplating on breathe in and breathe out, we can feel just that we called Digang wa asasanto, digang asasamiti pajanati. Rasang wa asasanto, rasang asasamiti. Digang wa pasasanto, digang pasasamiti pajanati. That means when we contemplate on breathing and breathe out, then we feel, oh, this breathing is very long. This breathe out is very long. It takes more time. So just he understands, oh, this is long, this is long, this breathe in and breathe out long. In this manner, after that he can experience, oh, this breathe in very short, this breathe in short, like light way. Breathe in and breathe out becomes short. After that, rasang, that means rasang vasa santu rasang asasamiti pajanati, rasang vapasa santu rasang pasasamiti pajanati. The breathing in short, he understands breathing in short. Breathing in, breathe out short, he understands breathe in, breathe out in short. And sabbakaya patisangvedi asasisamiti sikkati. Sabbakaya patisangvedi pasasisamiti sikkati. There is some difference in first one. What is the first two sentences? Digang asasantu digang asasamiti pajanati. That's verb is pajanati. Pajanati means understands. But now, sabbakaya patisangvedi asasisamiti sikkati. Sikkati means he trains. Now we have to train. Because why Lord Buddha has given to understand this short and long breath? Because our mind is very hard to contemplate at once without any object. So that's why he given a trick. He has given a trick to get rid from the thoughtfulness. So that's why he asks us to understand, oh, this is long, this is short. Once we contemplating short and long, it causes us to tranquilize our mind quickly. So after that, while he doing like this, he feels that means sabbakaya patisangvedi. In the commentary, it says sabbakaya means the whole breath body. That means the starting point to ending point of the breath. That is the interpretation of the commentary. But some Buddhist scholars and as well as mine, idea is not equal with that, because sabbakaya patisangvedi, sabbakaya, sabba mean whole, kaya mean body, patisangvedi mean experiencing. There is two words called another step is pasambayang kaya sankharam pasasisamiti sikkati. That the fourth step is tranquilizing the breath body. Then the sabbakaya, then there is two words now. One is sabbakaya, one is kaya sankhara. In Mahavedalla Sutta, in Majjhima Nikaya, it explains kaya sankhara is breathe in and breathe out. Kaya sankhara, that means preparations of body. Kaya mean body, sankhara mean preparations. Preparations of body, that means breathe in and breathe out. It explains it in Mahavedalla Sutta. But that third one is sabbakaya, not preparations of the body. It is sabbakaya, all body. Then that just I tell my idea. I'm not agree with that thing, the all breath body, because its idea it given as the all breath, the all body. Once he contemplate on breathe in and breathe out, he feels just now he understands, oh, this is long, this is short, long, short, long, short, long, 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 short, short. Like that way, he understands his breathe in and breathe out. While doing like this, he can experience his whole body as a one thing, because it leads us to the fifth point of the Anapanasati. What is the fifth point? That is piti patisangvedi asasisamiti sikkati. Piti patisangvedi means experiencing the joy, he breathe in and breathe out. For go to that joy of the all mind and body, he needs to feel the all body as one thing. So as a starting point of that, we feel once we're doing like this, the all body we can feel as a one thing. It is very calm, without any stress, without any force, just calmly do the meditation. And while practicing like this, he feels very tranquilized, and he feels the whole body as a one thing. As a once, he can feel the whole body. While experiencing the whole body, he breathe in and breathe out. Experiencing the whole body, breathe in. He trains breathe in. He trains breathe out. After that, while doing practicing like this, he feel to um, tranquilize his body formations. But what is that? Kaya sankharang, pasambayang kaya sankharang, asasisamita sikkati, pasambayang kaya sankharang, pasasisamita sikkati. That is the fourth step. So, pasambayang means tranquilizing, kaya mean body, sankhara mean preparations, asasisamiti mean breathing, sikkati mean trains. Now, shall I breathe in tranquilizing the body formation? He trains, thus I shall breathe out tranquilizing the body formations. He trained like this. Oh, he trains. I'm tranquilizing the breathing, and he breathe in. Shall I tranquilizing the breathe out, and he breathes out. So in this manner, he tranquilized the breathe in and breathe out very nicely. Now, while he doing like this, he feels very full of joy in his whole body and the mind. Then the fifth step is, he trains, I shall breathe in experiencing rapture. When piti pati sanvedi, asasisamiti sikkati, piti pati sanvedi, pasasisamiti sikkati. He understands, he trains, thus I shall breathe in experiencing rapture or joy. He trains thus. I shall breathe out experiencing rapture or joy. He trains thus. That is the fifth step. Now, the third step gives us the starting to that by experiencing the whole body. Now the whole body converted to joy. Joy means usually the fifth step talk about the joy of the mind, not the body. After that, then Sukapati Sangvedi Asasisamiti Sikkati, Sukapati Sangvedi Pasasisamiti Sikkati. After that, he feels, I shall breathe in experiencing pleasure. He trains thus. I shall breathe out experiencing pleasure. He trains thus. These all things he training, it is automatically arising in our mind. Not any force. He just contemplating the first training the tranquilizing of breathe in and breathe out. Then automatically he feels a joy in his mind. So after that he contemplating on joy. And now he relinquished that the tranquilizing of breathe in and breathe out, and he contemplate on joy. Then he experiencing the joy. Here he breathe in, experiencing now his all mindfulness in the joy, because Lord Buddha has explained the 16-step Anapanasati, mindfulness in breathe in and breathe out. It is about four parts, 4 steps to the Kaya Anupassana, another the 5th step to 8th step for Vedana Anupassana, and the 9th step to 12th step for Chitta Anupassana, to 30th step to 60th step for Dhamma Anupassana, for all Satipatthana, by 4 steps to 4 steps. Now it converts into Vedana Anupassana, the mindfulness in feelings and the sensations. Automatically he feels joy, then he relinquished the breathe in and breathe, mindfulness in breathe in and breathe out, the tranquilizing of breathe in and breathe out. Now he catch the joy, and experiencing the joy, he breathes in. With the experiencing of the joy, he breathes out. Thus he trains. After that, he feels some pleasure in the whole body. After that, he relinquished that object of the mind, joy of the mind. Then he catch the 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 pleasure of the body. Now he experiencing again the breathe in and breathe out. While practicing like this, he feel the next step is Chitta Sankhara Patisangveti Asasi Samiti Sikkati Chitta Sankhara Patisangveti Pasasi Samiti Sikkati. Chitta mean mind, Sankhara mean formations or preparations. What are the mind preparations? According to Mahavedala Sutta and Chula Vedala Sutta, the mind formations, mind preparations are sensations and perceptions. I'll give you an example. Now you see somebody, you can think some girl or a boy, or in your age. You feel, oh, she is so beautiful, he is so handsome. Once you feel like this, first thing was you can see that body, you can see that visual. So after that, you just first you have an eye on the sensation of that body of that person. For that visual, you feel some pleasant sensation. After that, you make some perception. Oh, she's a girl. Oh, he's a boy. Nice boy. After that, again for that perception, you like that perception. Then you again make a sensation, pleasant sensation for that perception. Oh, very pleasant. Because of that pleasant sensation, you again make some perception. Oh, his nose is very beautiful. Or her face is very beautiful. Again, you make a feeling. Can you make a sensation? From that sensation, again perception. From that perception, again sensation. Like that way, our mind making these sensations and perceptions again and again, again and again. So that's why we call them as mental formation. So of preparations of the mind. Now, I shall breathe in, experiencing the preparations of the mind. Thus he trains. And I shall breathe out, experiencing the preparations of the mind. He trains thus. How we do it? Now he experiencing the pleasure, pleasure and breathe in and breathe out. Now the sensation is the pleasant feeling of the body, and the perception is breathe in and breathe out. Now he first in the sixth step, he just contemplate on the pleasure. After that, he feels this both as mental formations, mental preparations. Oh, now he contemplate on that, relinquish that pleasure, and he contemplate those as mental preparations. He breathed in, while experiencing these mental preparations. He breathed in, experiencing the sensation and the pleasant sensation and the perception about breathing. And he breathes out, experiencing the pleasant sensation and the perception about breathe out. Now he experiencing the breathe in and breathe out, and he practice. The eighth step is Pasambayang kaya sankharang asasisamiti sikkati. Pasambayang kaya sankharang pasasisamiti sikkati. That means pasambayang mean I shall breathe in tranquilizing the mental preparations he trains. Thus I shall breathe out tranquilizing the mental preparations. He trains thus how I shall breathe in tranquilizing the mental preparations. He trains thus I shall breathe out tranquilizing the mental preparations. Now he feel, once he contemplating on mental preparations, he feel a tranquilizing of this. He feels some detachment to those preparations. So now he relinquished that mental preparations, and he is going to train as tranquilizing these mental preparations. By tranquilizing mean the pleasant sensation and perception about breathe in and breathe out. He going to reduce that, tranquilizing the breathe, the pleasant feeling, the sensation, and the perception about breathing, and he breathes out to tranquilizing the pleasant sensation and the thought and the perception about breathe out. Now he trains like this. Thus he trains thus. I shall breathe out, breathe in, tranquilizing the mental preparations. He trains thus. I shall breathe out, tranquilizing the mental preparations. In this way he trains. This is the 8th step. After that, Chitta Patisangvedi Asasisamiti Sikkati. Chitta Patisangvedi Pasasisamiti Sikkati. Once he tranquilizing the mental preparations, he can feel just tranquilized mind. Now he relinquish those and contemplate on that tranquilized mind. It's very calm cognition. Just cognition, but is very calm. Now he contemplate on that and practice. While experiencing, he trains thus, I shall breathe in experience in the mind. I shall breathe out experience in the mind. After that, the 9th step is, this 10th step is, Abhippamodayang chittang asasisamiti sikkati. Abhippamodayang chittang pasasisamiti sikkati. That means he trains thus, I shall breathe in gladdening the mind. He trains thus, I shall breathe out gladdening the mind. Abhippamodayam means once he contemplate on the mind going to be very glad, very it's not a joy or something. Feel the mind become very fresh and very powerful, like gladding of the mind. Now he relinquished that object and while he contemplating on the mind, he feels little gladding of the mind. Once he feels that gladding, he relinquished that object of the mind and he contemplate on that gladding. Now he catch that gladding and experiencing the gladding of the mind, he breathe in, experiencing the gladding of the mind, he breathes out. Now the gladding going to increase, and again a little time the gladding going to be reduced little by little. And the next step is, the 11th step is, Samadahang chittang asasisamiti sikkati. Samadahang chittang pasasisamiti sikkati. Samadahang mean he trains us, I shall breathe in, concentrating the mind. He trains us, I shall breathe out, concentrating the mind. Breathe in and breathe out while concentrating the mind. The 9th step was experiencing the mind. Now he going to concentrating the mind. The 10 step was gliding. Now he collect all mindfulness again into the mind. He concentrating the whole mind and contemplating on that. And he experiencing the concentrating of the mind. He breathe in, experience the concentration of the mind. He breathes out. Thus he trains. The 12th step is Vimochang chittang asasissamiti sikkati, vimochang chittang pasasissamiti sikkati. I shall breathe in, he trains, I shall breathe in, liberating the mind. He trains, I shall breathe out, liberating the mind. Liberating mean vimochang, I mean like a tranquilizing of the mind, like relinquish the mind. Once vimocha, you know, vimokha, vimochati, those words, maybe you are Indians, you can understand those type of words, because vimochang mean just liberating the mind. You just need to meditate to experience what I'm saying. You can experience like that. You can liberating the mind by he experiencing the liberate. He breathes in, breathe in, experience in the mind, the liberating the mind. Thus he trains, I shall breathe out, liberating the mind. That is the 12th step. Liberating of the cognition, you can understand by this, like liberating from the cognition, like without conceiving a mind or without conceiving a cognition, just detach to the cognition, like that experience like that. And after that, there is aniccanupassi asasissamiti sikkati, aniccanupassi pasasissamiti sikkati. That means he trains thus, I shall breathe in, contemplating the impermanence. And thus he trains, I shall breathe out, experiencing the impermanence. What's that? Now his mind, his cognition, he liberating from the mind. That means he got detached. He got separated from the cognition, like very distant with the cognition and the concept of I or conceiving. So after that, the 30th step, he understands, experiencing, he contemplating the impermanence, and he breathes in, contemplating the impermanence. He breathes out. How? Now just he just have his mind is very calm. Now he just has the cognition about breathe in and breathe out. Now he experiencing the impermanence of breathing. Oh, once he breathe in, he experiencing the impermanence of breathing. Once he breathe out, he experiencing the impermanence of breathe out. And breathe in, contemplating the breathe in and breathe out while experiencing the impermanence of those. Then again, viraganupassī asasissamiti sikkati, viraganupassī pasasissamiti sikkati. He trains thus, I shall breathe in, contemplating the fading away or detachment. I shall breathe out, contemplating the fading away. That means detachment. Once he contemplating on impermanence of the breathe in and breathe out, not an independent breathe in or breathe out. That means in that time his mind is very calm and the wisdom is appears already. So that's why now his mind liberated from the mind. So just has a cognition. So very concentrated mind. From that concentrated mind, he just contemplating the impermanence of that. trains like this. And now he again contemplating the fading away. Once he contemplating the impermanence, now again he can feel the fading away, like very, he feels very detachment with the breathe in and breathe out, or that cognition. Thus he trains this breathe in and breathe out. So in this manner also can experience like a fading away of the breathe in and breathe out. Fading away the breathe in, and he experiencing the fading away of the breath out, and he experiencing those, he breathe in and breathe out. Then Nirodhanupasse asasi samiti sikkati, Nirodhanupasse pasasi samiti sikkati. That means thus he trains experiencing the cessation. He breathe in, thus he trains I shall breathe out, experiencing the cessation, contemplating the cessation. The impermanence and cessation mean two things. Cessation mean once an oil lamp extinguished, it's fading away. It's ceased for the past. It go to past. Like we cannot gain it again. It's like a fading away, like a cessation. That word is cessation. There is the two philosophical ideas in impermanence and cessation. Now cessation comes through fading away, through detachment. Now he experiencing the cessation of the breathing, and he contemplate the cessation of the breath out. Now he understand. After that, patini sagganupasse asasi samiti sikkati, patini sagganupasse pasasi samiti sikkati. That means he trains thus, I shall breathe in, contemplating the relinquishment. Thus he trains, I shall breathe out, contemplating the relinquishment. Relinquishment means now he just feels the cessation of the cognition of breathe in and breathe out. We was talked about the 16th step, that is relinquish the mind, and thus he trains, relinquish the mind as he trains while breathe out. So that is the final step. From this relinquishing of the mind, his mind can achieve the stilling of all preparations, the relinquishment of all assets, the destruction of craving, detachment, cessation of the concept of existence. That is we call Nibbana. Nibbana can be experienced by each and every noble person as according to their wisdom wise level. Sotapanna person according to him, Sakadagami person according to him, Anagami according to him, Arahant according to him. So the Nibbana can experiencing by relinquishing the mind, his mind automatically absorbed to the stilling of all preparations, like putting on a huge rock on your head, on your mind. Mind cannot do anything, just stilled. Stilling of all preparations, no any preparations in the mind, without any object, no any object for the meditation, but just has a stilling, just has a stilling. So that's what's called Nibbana. In this way, he can practice again and again practice, by cultivated this, by practicing this, he can achieve the 7 enlightenment factors, Satta Bojjhanga. How? Once he practice this meditation, not the all things, just take first and second steps. He understands the long breath and short breath. Now he practicing he going to mindful, but increase his mindfulness with the with the ardent and fully aware and very mindful. So he relinquished the grief and the anger, and he focus on the mindfulness, the right mindfulness. By this right mindfulness, each and every step of that Anapanasati meditation, he fulfill the Sati Sambojjhanga, the right mindfulness, the mindfulness, the factor of enlightenment. While concentrating, while mindful like this, then Sati Dhamma Vijaya. Now he just has a binding this thus mindful. He investigates and he examines that state with wisdom and embarks upon a full inquiry into it. On whatever occasion, abiding thus mindful, a bhikkhu, a monk, investigates and examines that state with wisdom and embarks upon a full inquiry into it. On that occasion, the investigation of states, enlightenment factors is aroused in him, and he develops it, and he developed it comes to fulfillment of him in him. The investigation means no any analyzing, just he understands the mindfulness. He know how to mindful, how to make mind calm, how to control the mind. That is like a power what he can gain. Now he increasing his in the enlightenment factor of investigation. From this investigation, he feels very good effort, good encouragement. So this tireless energy, he fulfill each and not only the meditation time, the all time he has a tireless energy. From this tireless energy, Sati Dhamma Vijaya Virya, Piti, then the joy, the rapture. Then he training the rapture again and again. Each and every step you can feel those things. From this rapture of the mind, then he come to tranquilizing of the mind. No, like a tranquilizing of the body, that calls passaddhi. The passaddhi to the tranquilizing of the mind, the samadhi. From samadhi to the equanimity, upekka. Now his mind very calm with the meditation. While practicing this 16-step Anapanasati, his mind going to that stage. Fulfill the 7 enlightenment factors. By fulfilling these 7 enlightenment factors, Lord Buddha has preached, he can achieve the Vijja and Vimukti through knowledge and deliverance. How? Lord Buddha is explaining then he explaining this 4 in that sutta, the first 4 steps for kind of pasana, the contemplating of mindfulness in body as body. The next 4 steps for Vedanupasana, that means the contemplating the mindfulness sensations as sensations, and another 4 steps for Jittanupasana, the mindfulness in mind as mind. And the final 4 steps for the Dhammanupasana, that means the mindfulness in Dhammas as Dhammas. Dhammas mean the conceiving of about things as conceiving about things. Dhammas mean things like objects of the mind. So finally, the fulfillment of through knowledge and deliverance. Lord Buddha is explaining and how monks do the 7 enlightenment factors developed and cultivated fulfill true knowledge and deliverance, here amongst a bhikkhu develops the mindfulness, enlightenment factor, which is supported by seclusion, dispassion, and cessation, and ripen in relinquishment. How you have to practice these all meditations, and how you have to practice the 7 enlightenment factors, that is always supported to the seclusion of the mind. I develop my mindfulness, or I do this meditation, or supported to the seclusion of my mind, and supported to the dispassion of the mind, and supported to the cessation of the mind. Cessation means the concept of the cessation of concept of existing. You have a conceiving about there is a real world and I am existing, I'm living in this real world. But if you contemplate on this very moment, that is just a cognition. Cognition in an ear, or a cognition in an eye, cognition in a mind, or whatever. So giving a seclusion, for giving the dispassion, for giving supported for the cessation, and supported to ripen in relinquishment. Always each and every preparations you're relinquishing by the mind. Practicing, like in the meditating time, also practicing the relinquishment of preparations. And each and every time he practicing the relinquishment of preparations. What is the main work of the cognition, the mind, the vinyana? That means the consciousness, that is conceiving the duality, the world and me, I and visual, mind and thought, or ear and sound, he and I, always make a duality. But once you understand this is just a cognition. No, because those all meditations, those are samma sati, the right mindfulness. But the Noble Eightfold Path, starting with the right vision. Right vision can be taken by yoniso manasikara. That means appropriate attention. Appropriate attention arises with the listening the Noble Dhamma. Listening the Noble Dhamma arises with associate with the noble people. So this is how somebody can attain the right vision. Then he become moral and become virtue. Then he can practice the right mindfulness with the right effort. This is the right mindfulness. You always need to keep in your mind the people who practice this right mindfulness with that right vision. So again and again, he practiced this forgiving, supported for the seclusion, supported for the dispassion, supported for the cessation of existing, and supported for ripen in relinquishment. Always relinquish, the mind always going to conceive. We talked in the last suttas, Sambhava Sutta, like a fermentation. Always like to conceive, lend me, or essential pleasures, or desires, or lust. But now he relinquished all mental preparations, and this way, and each and every he practiced the mindfulness with those 4 things, and he practiced the investigation with the seclusion, dispassion, consciousness, and relinquishment, and he practiced the effort or tireless energy, or the joy or pleasure or the concentration or equanimity, to support to the seclusion of the mind, to support to the dispassion to the mind, to support it to cessation of the existence, to support to ripening relinquishment. Then his mind always become stilled, become the stilling of the all preparations. What is the explanation of Nibbana? Etang santang etang panitang yatidang sabba sankhara samato sabbopatipati nisakko tanhakkayo virago nirodho Nibbana. This is peaceful. This is excellent, namely the stilling of all preparations, the relinquishment of all assets, the destruction of craving, detachment, cessation, extinction. The Nibbana can be achieved here and now and in this very life. But you need to practice 100% according to Lord Buddha's preachings, not others. So once we practice according to Lord Buddha's teachings, Nibbana can be achieved. The Arahantship can be achieved within 7 years, probably. Precisely, that is Lord Buddha's promise in Mahasatipatthana Sutta. Someone practice the Satipatthana 100% according to my preaching, he can be achieved the Arahantship, at least the non-returner-ship, Anagami, within 7 years. The latest time is 7 days. So I wish you all may feel the fearfulness of samsara and do more effort to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana in this very life. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.